What's up everyone, Fritz here again with another episode of Sneakerhead Ambition, and today I've got another live cop for you. This is from the Yeezy foam drop that was like a week and a half ago at this point now. I've definitely been slacking on getting these videos up just because I've been doing a lot of other work behind the scenes. Hopefully on this video you can already see that something is different, but like I said, this drop was about a week and a half ago at this point. It's Thursday, Ravens baby. First day of NFL football. So like I said, this live cop is from, like a week and a half ago. It's Thursday if y'all are looking at me. And then in 4 days, we have the Yeezy slides that are restocking. So just kind of catching you all up, what I'm providing today. But yeah, I'll have a live cop from those foams, and we will get into some of the other developments with Yeezy 350 slates, and then with the slides coming up so that you all are prepared for that. First off, I hope you all like the changes to the channel. I have recently, and I know I've been talking about this for a while, but I recently made the jump to fully hire a virtual assistant that is a specialist in video editing, photo editing, graphic design. So I've been working on that for quite some time. I would highly recommend that some of y'all do that if that's something that you're trying to improve at. I should have delegated this a while ago, but when I started this channel, a little over a year ago now, I think it was about a year and a half ago I started. It took me about half a year to be consistent, and then I've been more or less consistent for the past year. I do believe that, I said to myself when I came into this, I was like, I'm gonna post content consistently for a year, worrying about the quality of the quality of the information I'm providing and whether or not it's helpful. I think I've pretty much accomplished that. I think that the things I post on here, while obviously not everyone at all levels of botting pulls the same things away from these videos, I do think that I've done a pretty good job of just helping provide quality information to y'all so that you can improve at a faster pace. I'm really looking forward now to just trying to work on improving the production quality of these videos, make them look more appealing, make them a little more entertaining, easier to watch, right? Like there's music, transition. So really excited to finally have that. And I thank you all that have stuck with me loyally through the times of this horrid production value. Things are getting better. I may have mentioned already that I didn't run for the Yeezy 350 slates. I was in New York going to a rave, Electric Zoo. Great time. I think I've been like 8 years in a row now. So that's always good for my mind. But regardless, I didn't run for those. Not the biggest profitable drop. I had some people hit me up for ACO, but ended up just leaving early Saturday morning instead, since there weren't that many people looking for them, and just a busy weekend in general. So I'm looking forward to running for the slides again. I will touch on some of the things that happened on the slates that might be applicable and relevant to the slides drop coming up, but we will get into all that now. So the foam drop was definitely interesting, just for one main reason, just being that coming out of the drop, it seemed that there was a general consensus that, and it wasn't just from people who didn't hit complaining and whining, but for people that did hit, seemed to be a general consensus after the drop, so about 10 days ago, that they had limited pairs to two pairs per address. It seemed like that could have been the case. I'll get into my total numbers of checkouts later, but I got a lot of declines, way more than I typically get, and way higher of a ratio favoring declines over checkouts. I didn't really think much of that initially. I thought maybe somebody's card doesn't have money on it, maybe an address is bad, right? There's a lot of reasons that they can be happening. But as that kind of continued on and we started to hear after the drop that people were like, I didn't get more than two to an address, yada, yada, yada. It seemed like that might have been the case. Now, I wish I had posted this earlier because these were my true feelings, and I don't think that it's a limit to two per house. I just don't think that's it. I don't think that A, they did that, and then B, if they clipped the jigging method or the alteration method of your address, right? You can switch that, right? We can start doing other things. They can, but there's too many pairs on there, I believe, for them to be doing that level of nitpicking with addresses. On Shopify, right, sometimes they drop like 50 pairs. That's not the case on Yeezy Supply, so it's a little harder for them. Now, this could be the case. I think that the information coming out from 350 slates was that this was not the case. We've got to just kind of monitor this moving forward. Could they, on Monday for the slides, have it two per person? I guess. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think that there was really low stock on Yeezy Supply for the foams. And I'll get into some of my issues and why I didn't hit more later. But I don't think that they're limiting it to 2 per dress. They might be. Tomorrow will definitely be a good kind of indicator of where we're headed, and we'll just have to monitor that from drop to drop. But in my opinion, I don't think it's going to be limited to 2 per dress. Now, something that I would just say that's going to be good for Yeezy Supply botting, that's going to be good for Shopify, foot sites, any type of botting that you're doing, right? And whatever stores are in our future. You need to make sure that you are accumulating addresses, right? Now, why is that? The more you have, the better off you are, right? They haven't been banning Yeezy Supply addresses as much lately. They used to do that a lot. Having addresses is a better option, right? You just have more. You're less likely to get banned. Okay. If they limit it to 2 per address, it's better to have more addresses because you can get 2 times however many addresses you have, right? If it's limited to 1 per site on foot site, Shopify, different things like that, you want more addresses. I understand that it is more convenient sometimes to have 1. I would work on making your systems more robust so when changes like this happen, they're not catastrophic to your plan and business model, right? I know people who are like, I can't get more than 2 now. I get it, but you're just not trying, right? You can't tell me that y'all can't go find people out there that you trust or just good people, that your church, your job, your cousin, you're somebody in another state. Like, be creative, right? Think. Don't just say, oh, I don't know that many people. Yeah, you do. So just me trying to get you to put yourself out there, be more creative, and make your strategies more anti-fragile, right? Again, if somebody just changes to only 1 per address and you're screwed, you haven't been planning for the future and things that could go wrong. So I would just recommend that you really try to network and find places, even if they're not people, right, that you can ship to, right? And if you're going somewhere and do something for them, be like, I'll donate something to this charity. I'll do, if you guys just let me ship shoes here, right? Like, be creative, right? People will often say yes. I think I've asked around 25 to 30 people and 3 have said no. So if you're worried about people saying no, grow up. The checkout numbers from people across the board are also another reason why people may have speculated early that there were going to be a limit to 2 per address. I don't really know what happened with that, but it doesn't, like I said, just reiterating that, it doesn't seem that that's the case, but there were a lot of things that kind of, when you stack them up, right, made it seem like that could have been the case coming out of this drop. So hopefully that 2 per address doesn't come to fruition, but I'm just trying to outline why people thought that, what we think will happen, and just kind of clues as to whatever pattern they're going to have out there, or whatever, if this is something that they deploy here and there. But like I said, just data, right? You got to take it and process it and just kind of compare it to what's going on around with other drops. As far as how I did on YS for the day, I definitely was not thrilled with hitting 7. That was unfortunate, but just kind of based off what I saw across the board and from the people that are clearly better than me at botting and just a tier above, I don't feel that bad about it or feel that down about it. I think that was kind of a decent day. I saw a lot of people who I respect and know do well often hit 0. Like I said, I have over 20 addresses, so if it were 2 per address on that, it wasn't going to affect me. But 7 is low. It is all relative, right? I do need to not just look at the total number, I need to look at how other people did in relation to kind of know what I should be assessing with my performance. But I do think that was, it was a low day, but I'm going to get into some of the other things that I had personally go wrong now that contributed to even a lower number than I probably would have had if everything went well. As far as my total goes for the day, I did hit 7, like I mentioned. My usual bot lineup was out there, and I also put out Wrath. I ran 1 copy of that. So I believe in the end I hit 3 on Trickle, 3 on Valor, 1 on Whatbot, and I did not hit on Wrath. Always unfortunate to run a bot and not hit and just waste resources, but it is what it is. So that was my just general setup. Like I said, nothing really stood out today. And I'll get into why I didn't perform even better now. Now, I want to preface this with, this is not an excuse, right? As much as an explanation. I definitely did not do well because I had like 50 Gmails, right? Some of you may be watching this video and be like, 50 Gmails, that's a lot. It's all relative, right? To some people that would cover their setup times 10. For mine, it's not even remotely enough. So unfortunately, like 48 hours, not even 48 hours, less than that before the drop, the subnet that I was on, due to a fault of my own with the payment I had on there, declined initially, and I paid for it again right away, but the subnet under there changed. So that's obviously my fault. I'm not even I'll even give the provider, that's the Porter provider for my farming. Great company, right? It's not their fault. That's all my fault. If I had had the correct card info in there, it wouldn't have declined, and I would have just had it back up. Now, at this point, I have them back on there and they're ready to roll. But having that happen within 48 hours of the drop really screwed me. And like I said, I am the one who made that mistake, okay? So I'm not, saying I didn't hit any because of this. I still hit pairs. I adapted and did the best I could, but just I had too many tasks, right? I just had too many tasks. So I should have had over 200 Gmails or around 200 one clicks, and I had 50. So I'm sure y'all can see how that definitely messes with your setup, even if you have all of these bots. If you're running something that's just not appropriate on a task to Gmail ratio, it's not gonna work for me either. So just kind of putting that out there, I did make that mistake. That was my issue that I should have gotten correct. But that without a doubt contributed to a lack of pairs for me on the day. So in regards to what proxies actually worked for me on this drop, it was about as wide of a spread as you could get because it was a single pair for 7 different providers, right? So as far as residentials, right, I hit with Oculus, Diamond, and Lemon. You could count in Comet as a residential, right? It's a metered resi, right? So 4 were from that. And I hit Proxy Heaven, Ping, and Porter, 1 each on ISPs. So about as even as a spread as you can get, right? But again, that just articulates, right, that residentials do quite well. More of the percentages of my declines were from residentials, so it seems that residentials might have done a better job of getting carded, and then obviously had a difficult time checking out as efficiently as ISPs, right? So just something to think about. ISPs are always a great idea on Yeezy Supply. There are some drops where they get them clipped pretty well, but all in all, if you play, just like betting in Vegas, right? The house always wins. If you play enough times with ISPs on Yeezy Supply and your setup is dialed in, you're going to win, right? You're going to win over time. Does that mean every drop they're going to do well? No, but that's reality. As far as proxies are concerned, I don't have that much to go off of because I only had, single digit checkouts. But as far as they were concerned, I ran more residentials than I did ISPs. You can check out my last video if you want more kind of background on why that was my strategy with this, but it was, and it seemed to work fairly well. Again, I, had about 40, 50 declines, and the majority of them were from residentials. Now, again, I did run more residentials than I did run ISPs, so that would make sense. But usually that's not the case, right? If you've watched my videos over the past several months, ISPs are usually in the range of like 70 to 85% of my checkouts, right? I run them heavy on Yeezy Supply. Remember, this is Yeezy Supply. On this day, right, that was not the case at all. And I'll get into a breakdown of the numbers more, but residentials really did do well. But again, we didn't have that long of a drop to go off of, so just kind of take this with a grain of salt. And again, this is just a framework for you planning how to go about running on the slides coming up. And just to clarify, you just heard a bunch of bot names, right? I'm still saying that WhatBot, Trickle, and Valor are the top 3 Yeezy Supply bots, all right? Now, with that, right underneath those 3 is Wrath and Mech, have been doing outstanding, and right below that is Toru, Kodai, and Prism, right? I know I was forgetting one, but just trying to lay that out in a more simple sentence. But that's kind of where I stand right now in Yeezy Supply rankings, and like I said, they have started to change, and those lower level bots are really picking up their performance as of late. One thing I want to mention about Yeezy Supply bots lately, okay? So for the past, I'd say 6 to 12 months, right? There's been an unusual situation, right? Where I would say that the top couple bots, like the top 3 bots on Yeezy Supply, right? I don't know what I'm going to say. Top 3 bots for Yeezy Supply have been WhatBot, Trickle, and Valor, right? If you have tried to debate that in the past 6 to 12 months, I don't know what you're talking about, you're wrong. Those have been without question the top 3 bots. Now, why is this weird? I think it's weird because 6 to 12 months is a long time for not just one bot. It's not like from 2014 to 2018, how Cyber was the #1 bot. That's not unusual because it's just a top bot. What is unusual is that nothing has changed in the, I don't know if I'm doing that again. I guess like top 3. The top 3 bots. That's not normal, right? There's usually movement somewhere in the ranks over time. There's been like no movement in the past 6 to 12 months with the Yeezy Supply bots until recently. I would say that for the past 3 to 4 weeks, right? Wrath, Prism, Kodai, right? Some of these other bots that have obviously performed very well in the past on sites are starting to be relevant again. Mech AIO, I forgot to throw that one in there. Those 4 have been performing much, much better. I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, the first part of this year, running any of the bots like Mech, Wrath, Toru, Prism, if you picked one of those bots over Trickle, Whatbot, or Valor, you just weren't thinking. There's just no comparison. Now, recently, Wrath has been doing a great job, right? Mech has really been performing well. Prism is picking it up, right? Toru's doing really well. These bots that quite frankly had just fallen through the floor, price-wise and performance-wise, are starting to pick back up again. So I don't think that it's silly to run those anymore. For a while, people were like, why didn't you run this? Because there's just no point, right? If I have more what bots, when I started botting, I was like, oh, I'll run each bot and like one will do really well today. At this point, I know which ones are going to do well. And it's Valor, Whatbot, and Trickle. As the kind of information on the ground changes, we'll start to use Wrath and those other bots more. But that's just something that's been a pretty obvious and significant change to me when just viewing success with Yeezy Supply as of late, is that other bots are making a comeback. As always, I'm going to thank my sponsors, but now you can actually see them. Again, thank you to all my sponsors. I'm thrilled to work with the companies that I do, and I cannot recommend them highly enough to you all. I do mention this every time because I don't just pump products that I have never used and don't feel comfortable using and promoting. Every company that I am sponsored by, for the most part, other than the ones that are new, like COMET and I believe BLISS, right? Every other company on there that's not new, I worked with and bought their products before they sponsored me, right? I've been botting for 3 years, right? I was going 2.5 years buying every single thing I had to, just like y'all. So I'm not, sitting up here being like, I got this, right? Like I worked my ass off to get to the point where I am with resources, right? So again, I am promoting companies that I really am confident in. The teams are professional, right? With their products, they get them to you quickly. Very responsive, right? I can't speak highly of them enough. Check out the information around the border, check out the information in the information section below, right? If you need proxies, servers, whatever resources you need, they're down there. Just check out the Discord links and use the discount codes, and hopefully they're helpful. Anyways, that's all for this portion of today's video. As always, thanks for checking out this video. I don't believe I've ever gone on this rant before, but if you find any of this helpful, like, comment, subscribe to this channel. I know that people say it often, but it really does help me a lot, and it takes you literally 1/10 of a second. Literally done, right? So again, not begging for it, right? I don't care what you do, but if you have found this informational and helpful, it does really help me a lot. So if I have helped you, it's taken me weeks of my life to create this content. It could take you 1/10 of a second to click, the mouse. So whatever. I don't like going on those rants, but if I have helped you, it's extremely helpful to me when you do those things. So thank you. Other than that, check back in a couple days. I'm gonna have a SneakerCon video up from DC where I just went around, just talked to some of the vendors, some of the sellers, got kind of interviews of their story, where they're from, how they got into it, type of shoes they're selling, just good stuff like that. So definitely check back for that. And then I will have the Yeezy Slides video up, obviously a day or two after the Yeezy Slide drop coming up on Monday. And then I've got a Got Sold video up from Got Sold New York. So I have a lot of good content coming up. Like I said, I have been working with a video editor, graphic designer, right, photo editor. So I really am hoping to improve the production quality of these videos. Hopefully y'all like it, and just check back in a couple days for that next video. And until next time, see ya. All right, so we look to be. All right, we look to be good. I have everything up. I'm running some Valors. Oh, sorry. All right, we look to be good. We've got some. Let me rub my hand. We look to be good. Got all my solvers up. Everything's up to date. AYCD's ready to roll. He already. So I'm running some Valors, some Whatbots, some Trickles, and Wrath right here. First time running Wrath in a long time. It's been doing really well. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I'm running for a lot of adults, mostly adult sizes. Some kid sizes in there, and we will see how the day goes. Yeah, my Gonna be a resi. It's gonna be a resi day. Okay, I think I have everything running. At your own discretion. Diamond's money. Alright, so like I said, quick again before we get rolling. Everything is started. Everything looks good. I'm running a good mix of proxies today because of what I said with the Resi situation. So as you can see, I've got Diamond, Hex, Lemon. All did really well for me last time. Oculus, I've got again down here, giving Flow a try, Live. I got a lot, right? So we'll see what works today. I think residentials are going to cook, just again, already based on what we're seeing with just what's getting in queue. I mean, these are all working pretty well, but you can see Ooh, yeah, live's getting in there. Flow, yeah. We'll see. Hopefully my bet on that goes well, and that's. How many captures you guys solve in AYCD? How many captures have y'all solved? On Yeezy Supply. I'm just curious if you guys are solving a lot of them. Let your trickle run. Got a couple declines. Let's see. We're off and running. Oh, we got one on a trickle. Okay, we got two on a trickle. Okay, good. We got several on. I got like 4 so far. I got another decline. Come on, I got like a bunch in cart. Let's go. I know the checkout. Come on, declines. That's good. Come on, let's go. I know, I've got like 15 carts on Wrath. Yep, I know, right? You guys stopping your just got a decline again. This is ass. Noble. I got another decline. This is crazy. I got a ridiculous amount of declines. More declines. Jeez, man, these declines are crazy. Boy, struggling. I got 5 right now. Oof. Yeah, this is almost over too. I'm not trying to screw it, but I think this is almost over. I'm gonna say we're done at 30. At 30. These cars just keep going up and not getting anything. It's just been really tough to get through today. This is rough. I'm gonna try to get this video editor to show the webhook for you guys. Just a ridiculous amount of declines. I've had about 30 declines at this point, so 6 checkouts so far. Keep passing. I can't get any of these orders to stick. This is crazy. This rarely happens for me. Well, we'll see. I'm over 30 declines now. This is ridiculous. I got another decline. This is killing me, man. Ugh. I've seen that multiple times. Oh, I got another one on trickle just now. I'm up to 7. I'm 50 declines. The declines are crazy. Yeah, so just talking to y'all, not talking to the group. I've got 7 now. None on this I don't know if any of them, the what bots came from in here, but none on Wrath. And the carts just keep recycling, but I've got a few on trickle. I got like 3 or 4 on trickle. 4 on trickle now? Yeah. I'm just leaving it running. I've just got a lot of Valors. I've got 2 checkouts on Valor that are just cycling through carts. Just hard. Like pretty much all of my other instances. Got another one here. These had been cycling. Uh-oh. Yeah, I just got another decline on what bot. Declined. Nuts. Alright, so that was rough. Let me see if I can show you all this. So I started this up. This is my AYCD instance. I started this up and I just got proxy errors like all through a subnet. And they wouldn't solve. And they solved a couple days ago, so I had some rolling just fine, but I really thought I had a lot more. So I gotta look into what happened with that. And just looking at fixing that, because I think that was a big reason why I only got 7. You know, I had 2 trickles, 2 what bots dependent on that end of wrath. So
that's definitely, you know, I'm not gonna take this too hard, but I think that's kind of what went wrong. So deal with that moving forward, be good to go. Yeah, and I'll be back. I'm gonna do a lot of videos in the near future on automations, on Shopify, on DSG, on how to do addresses for all of those, do some more in-store stuff. I'm going to be doing some new releases. I will be getting some of those and just kind of doing some reviews, possibly doing some reviews on fakes and all of that good stuff. So yeah, today wasn't the best day, but I'll be back here tomorrow. Yeah, and we will go from there, but we'll figure out what we can bought over the next couple of days. Get some dunks actually look like tomorrow, or actually today. Yikes. But yeah, I'll talk to y'all in a couple of days about one of those things. And again, just ways that you can kind of make money with these bots right now. All right, have a good one.